McBride was an all-star for the 5th time in her career as Boston goes backdoor to Hull. Working on Williams. Hull gets it to go. And a foul.
Career high for you tonight. How'd that first half feel, especially with 18 and just 20 minutes of play?
I mean, it obviously feels good, I think. For me, just playing with confidence. We're missing people, so everyone's got to do a little bit extra, be a little bit more aggressive offensively. So that was my mindset going in, and obviously it feels good to see the ball go through the net.
McBride was an all-star for the 5th time in her career as Boston goes backdoor to Hull working on Williams. Hull gets it to go and a foul. Career high for you tonight. How'd that first half feel, especially with 18 and just 20 minutes of play? I mean, it obviously feels good, I think, for me, just playing with confidence. We're missing people, so everyone's got to do a little bit extra, be a little bit more aggressive offensively. So that was my mindset going in, and obviously it feels good to see the ball go through the net. Lexie Hull had the game of her life. The Fever had momentum, and then it all came crashing down. Not only did Indiana give up a massive third-quarter run, they also lost 2 more key players, Chloe BBY and Odyssey Sims, adding to an already brutal list that includes Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, Sydney Carlson, and Ari McDonald. That's now 6 rotation players gone, leaving the Fever shorthanded in the middle of a playoff race. There was resilience, no doubt, but it was overshadowed by frustration. Post-game, Stephanie White praised Hull as aggressive, while Lexie herself shared honest words about stepping up with the team so depleted. At the same time, questions swirled about the coaching decisions that led another halftime lead to vanish. So, what did Lexie Hull say exactly that has the entire team fired up? If you support Lexie and the Fever, then comment Lexie Show. Let's go. Second All-Star appearance was right here in Indianapolis back in July. Oh, looking inside for Boston. She will launch and knock down a 3. Lexie Hull's hit a pair end of that game, but foul line continues to flum Smith here this year. Here's Hull backdoor. Puts on the brakes and lay it in. It's a Lexie Hull show here. Lexie Hull's breakout performance became the unexpected heartbeat of this game. On a night when Indiana's roster was stripped down to its core, she delivered the best showing of her young career, dropping 23 points on 9 of 16 shooting, including 4 of 7 from 3 while logging nearly 37 minutes. Against a Minnesota team stacked with depth and experience, Hull looked completely unfazed, stepping into the moment with confidence and purpose. Lex, did you come into tonight kind of expecting to play darn near the whole game just with the injury situation and the personnel available? Damn, you played 37 minutes. I mean, you played a lot, too. Kills, when did you play? 35, I mean, yeah, we're down people, so got to suck it up, play a little tired, a few minutes, and take in those timeouts as best we can. But yeah, I mean, we're down people, so everyone's got to do a little more. For you offensively, was the plan to kind of try and get some looks inside early to get yourself going and then start working from the outside, or was that just kind of how the game set itself up? Just read the defense, you know. I think I got some really good passes on the back cuts, and that's a testament to my teammates, you know, finding me, but keep them moving, just reading whatever they're giving. From the opening tip, she played like someone determined to be more than a role player. Her early threes barely touched the rim on their way down, and she grabbed easy looks with sharp backdoor cuts that left Minnesota caught off guard. She had 18 points by halftime, carrying much of Indiana's offense when they were setting the tone. The scoring came when it mattered most while the game was still in reach, not during garbage time after things were decided. And then Chloe Bibby's absence, you'll likely see a lot of Turner on the floor here today as Lexie Hull launches and hits. It's a 3-point parade. Going in. Here is Hull. Look how aggressive Lexie Hull has been here in the first half. That was her 8th shot. Lexie Hull with all the confidence in the world. Petty wide open. Oh yes. What stood out wasn't just the number of points, but the way she got them. Hull refused to be one-dimensional. She sprinted through open lanes, crashed the glass, and constantly forced defenders to chase. Indiana leaned on her heavier than usual, and she showed she could handle it. This was more than luck or an outlier shooting night. Her energy and assertiveness gave the Fever an emotional lift they desperately needed. 16 in the first half for McBride. Hull catch and shoot. Knocks down another 18 for Hull. That is anew. Afterward, Hull explained that she was just trying to read the defense and make the right play, knowing the injuries meant she had to carry more than her usual role. Stephanie White noticed too, praising her for being aggressive and for the first time this season really hunting shots. That shift in mindset made all the difference. Hull wasn't waiting for the game to come to her. She was actively taking it. Lexie Hull tonight, career hype for her, just especially affected there early on. What were you seeing from her performance? She was aggressive. I mean, she was hunting shots. She was aggressive to the rim. You know, she knew we needed another score on the floor, and because of the attention that Kelsey and AB get, she was getting free and she was hunting shots, and that's what we're going to need from her. For a stretch in the first half, the Fever felt alive in a way they haven't in weeks. Hull was drilling jumpers. Kelsey Mitchell was creating offense, and the bench erupted after every make, like they were on the verge of something special. Fans watching could sense it. The confidence Hull played with was contagious, sparking belief that maybe this team still had a punch to throw. Turner with the offensive rebound. Hull is wide open and knocks down. But that spark wasn't enough to cover the cracks surrounding her. As great as her night was, one player surge cannot patch the holes left by a roster gutted with injuries. Indiana needed Hull to be a hero, and she gave them that. But the weight of everything else caught up fast. That second half promise ran into a bigger problem, one that's been the theme of the Fever season. The only reason Hull's big night stood out so much is because of just how thin the Fever's roster has become. The injuries have come in waves and left this group barely holding a rotation together. Caitlin Clark has been sidelined since July 15th with a right groin injury. Sophie Cunningham went down with a torn MCL that required surgery. Sydney Colson-Gier ended with a left ACL tear, and Ari McDonald was shut down because of a foot injury. That's 4 players gone before this game even tipped off. Then in the span of one night, things got worse. Chloe BBY felt soreness in her left knee during warm-ups and was held out as a precaution, while Odyssey Sims exited in the fourth quarter and never returned, awaiting further evaluation. Just obviously Chloe BBY a late addition to the injury report. Just when did that injury happen, or do you know the severity at this point? Felt something during pre-game and so holding her out as a precaution. We don't know anything. So hopefully we'll get some more information tomorrow when she can be seen. Had she been dealing with any soreness or anything like that in previous days the week leading up to tonight? Yeah, I think everybody's dealing with soreness at this point in the year. But yeah, I had been dealing with a little bit of knee soreness and again just, want to make sure that we're cautious and figure out what's going on before she gets out there. That sequence left Hull as the only regular wing left standing and forced the Fever to cobble together lineups on the fly. BBY's absence meant they lost one of the few forwards who could give them balance, and Sims going out took away the only veteran point guard they had available. Indiana had to hand heavy minutes to young guards and recent hardship signals. When Sims called for a sub late, Shea Petty had to come in and essentially run the offense despite having only just joined on a 7-day hardship contract. BBY herself was only signed earlier this month. Another reminder of how thin this bench is right now. What do you know about Odyssey after I think she left the game and didn't return? Is she injured? What's up with that? Yeah, we don't know anything yet. She's going to get evaluated tomorrow. So, we'll see. With regards to Odyssey, do you have any ideas of what it was she tweaked? Was it a groin or any? I have no idea. I just heard her say, I need a sub. And so, I got Shea up there. The ripple effects were obvious. Hull played extended minutes as the lone wing option while Brianna Turner and Michaela Timpson were thrown into difficult matchups far outside their usual roles. Possessions turned shaky because the guards on the floor didn't have the comfort or familiarity to initiate sets cleanly. By the third quarter, fatigue showed. Simple ball movement broke down. Aaliyah Boston fought hard to get position inside, but passes arrived late at the wrong angle or not at all. Head coach Stephanie White admitted that they are trying to integrate 2 new point guards into the system mid-season and the disconnection was clear. Plays that used to flow with Clark now ended in rush jumpers or unforced turnovers. Don't think you want to play Lexie 40 minutes. How can you handle the wing without Chloe tonight? Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to do it by committee. Bree Turner can guard 5 positions, so she'll be out there defensively. We've got to try to manipulate lineups a little bit more to figure out who we can stretch the floor with. So, we're probably on the floor the same time as D in a lot of things that we do. But, again, if it's not going to be spacing the floor in the half court, we've got to be able to get our defense to create some offensive transition opportunities.